I love that
Okay.
song too, by the way.
All right. So still no Larry. Track 5 is Savior.
Yes,
So
yes.
so Savior, I believe, was such a good like this last half of this album is so timely and on time. Like on
Yep.
time because I feel like people idolize people more and more now than ever before. Like I'm like, you guys are watching these quote unquote reality shows. They're not even real. They're scripted.
They're not.
They're
They're
lis-
not.
these
Exactly.
people are listed in the credits as actors. Get it through your skull. This is
It's
not
not real
real.
life. No.
They
It's
wouldn't be
crazy.
listed as actors. It would say like it would say like featuring like whoever these people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, thank them for being a part of the video. That'd be that. You don't get credits when you're not acting.
That makes
Excuse me.
sense.
Yeah.
hmm I'm like, oh, yeah, I felt that. Talking about like, hey, like LeBron James did amazing things. You know, who else did he mention? Oh yeah, Future. Like a lot of black men that people people hold
Hmm.
in high regard. And he's like, hey, but don't forget, we're not your savior. Like, we're not. Stop trying to idolize us because we're
Yeah.
human too. We make mistakes too. And like, we can be wrong
Mhm.
too, which I love. I love that. It needs to be said, like these people are not worthy of worshiping and sacrificing your life for. You are
Mhm.
following what you think Future does on a daily basis. I especially see this on Black Twitter. And you're like, yeah, because that's why Future is the goat. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, don't idolize uh, misogynistic behavior and just out here being a savage because really you hurting yourself. You really are. So I don't know. And
But
then what else?
real quick though, like with
Yeah.
Future
Mhm.
also been on record saying he don't be doing all them drugs like that. That's one. He's on
He did
record
say
on
that.
interview saying that. That's one.
Yeah, I heard
Two,
that one.
he's on record on interview saying, "Yo, I like to simp out for these girls. Like I like to bomb nice things and all this other stuff."
Oh, I didn't even
Like
know
what part of the Savage Handbook is that?
that.
What
See,
part is that? What part of the misogyny is that? That's what I want to know because that ain't in there, big
that's
dog.
not. That's not. I'm like, ah, see, and then just talking about there's a lack of authenticity in hip hop because people want to be so PC or people want to like cater to what the audience would approve of.
Hmm.
People are scared to tell the truth, and I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just talking about he struggles. He said something about like he struggles to love his neighbor too,
Hmm.
and like he's not a savior. He struggles to love his neighbor too. Like he's struggling with ego too, and then people just doing good deeds. I think he
Hmm.
said something like
For
people doing good
cloud.
deeds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the money and the recognition, not really because they really trying to help people. And I'm like, that's
Hmm.
always been. So yeah, but and then just I think is this the song? I don't remember if this is the song or not, but just
Yeah.
talking about how it's painful to not go along with the masses. It's painful to not go along with groupthink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Larry comes back because there's something I wanted to talk to y'all about in regards to that point
Hmm.
because that's actually like scientifically proven. So yeah, I thought that was interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Cause people always want to go with the crowd, and my thing is like going with the crowd makes me nervous because I automatically go, well, what did we miss? Like
Right.
what else is
Right.
going on? Like, but what if we went this other way? Like, do we have to do it this way? Like, is there a better way? Like, why do you even think that way? Who started this? Why why
Right.
why is why is everybody doing? Who started doing this? Like, is this a law or just this like practice? Like, what's going on? Like, that's that's
Yeah.
that's that's my mindset on like going with the group. Like, and I have going with the group so bad that I can't even hang around the same group of people too long. Like I will immediately try and go find another group of people to hang around. Some because I feel like my mind gets stuck. I feel like my mind gets stuck. I get trapped. That's why I like having a lot of friends. So then my mind has room to expand and grow, and I get different
Yeah,
perspectives all the time.
broader.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's so good to live that way. I was just about to say you are a natural nonconformist. When I first met you, I thought you were a lone wolf because you'd be like, yeah, I just do this by myself, and I'm like, why do you keep doing stuff by yourself?
yeah,
But now I get it because most people like to go along with each other. It's better to just be on your own. Now I'm over here burping.
yeah.
But it's better to
That's
be
true.
like but it's better to be like on your own, like so you can really I mean the more you are removed from the group, the better you can think for yourself. So I always think
Hmm.
it's smart to do that. But yeah, I don't know if Larry's coming back, but I'm gonna just say this. So
Hmm.
I'm in sociology, like this class I'm taking in sociology.
Okay, here we go.
Um, on our test, there was an experiment done. I think it was in the 70s. His name was Dr. Ash. And some people, if you know like psychology or sociology, you might be familiar with this. It's called
Hmm.
the line test. So basically, it's a test on conformity. So this doctor, he grabs 5 individuals, right? 4 of them are actors.
Hmm.
So the last one is the test subject. So
Hmm.
this is what he did. Oh, Larry said his phone died. But
See, I
anyways, we'll
called
do
it.
that.
Give me
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Give me
So
one.
okay, I'm gonna wait for him to come back. I'm like, but no, it was just interesting how this test came out. Like
Mhm.
what people do under conformity. So we'll talk about it, but hopefully he'll get his butt back on here.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully so. Hopefully so.
I'm like,
But
hurry
yeah,
up,
so
there you
I find it interesting that you said like I'm a lone wolf because literally I can't like, and that's another one of my like my relationship
Foxy.
problems. Like it's not. I don't even say it's toxic. I'm so good and efficient at being alone and like
By
having
yourself.
direction and going where I want to go. Like it literally pains me mentally like when people are like too slow or like not direct enough like in where they're trying to go, because I'm like, yo, I know where I'm going over here, like let's go. And it's like, oh well, what about this, like, and I'm like, what are you talking about, like did you think about it? Yes, I did. I
That's
thought
why
about
I
it a
chose to
lot.
go this way,
I told
right?
you, let's go. I'm not. Oh, do you think I'm going to run myself into a fire? That's what you
Right.
think? You think I'm gonna run myself into a fire? Do you think I don't know that this might not be the best idea? But if it works, it'll be great. It'll work out great. It'll work out great for us.
I can see how that could potentially be a problem.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It
That's
definitely,
funny.
it definitely does end up being a problem. But I am very like empathetic and compassionate.
Good.
But I do have my limits like as far as that goes,
Hmm.
because I can like try to like, if I don't feel like I'm getting anything at all back from you, like not even like mentally, emotionally, physically, like if I'm not getting anything back, you know what I'm saying, you're not meeting my base needs that I have, Shawty, you can go. You can
Bye.
go.
Because
You
what's the point at that point? Like, what is even the point?
yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel that. I'm the same way. Like, I can't, like, no. And especially if I feel like I'm having to pull you up along with myself. Like, okay, so we can go in the right
Bruh.
direction.
Yes.
I know how you feel.
Yes.
Because it's like, dude, you slowing me down. Like, what? And then you're not even meeting my needs. So why are you even here? Like, it's
Right.
just weird. I
And
don't
then you
like
talking
that.
about some, oh, I need a shoulder to cry on. I need da 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 da. And you like always crying. Like you always got a problem. You always got something negative. Like your baseline energy is negative. You know what I'm saying? Like you go on in the internet and you gossip about people, you talk about people. That's not my energy at all.
No,
At
no,
all. I don't
mm-mm.
have that energy in me because that takes too much work. I have to
It
go
does.
look up what you said, then I gotta go just talk about nothing for an hour. like on the internet. Like, no, it means nothing to me.
That's too
Absolutely
much.
nothing. And then I have a huge thing with like talking with people versus people texting me. So, and
Well,
which is why I like doing the podcast so much, because I get to actually talk to people. Because text messages, like text messaging, it don't do it for me. Like it don't do it. It don't do it. Like I don't care who you are. It don't do it. I got to talk to you at some point. I got
Mhm.
I got a minimum like 3-day window on talking to somebody. If I can't get you on the phone in 3 days, I'm disinterested. I'm done.
I feel like that's pretty fair.
Like
I think that's
every
fair.
3 days, like every three. I'm just saying something, something. Like
Yeah.
even if it's just a 5 minute conference, I'm cool with that. Like I just want to hear that you exist, okay? Because I could be texting anybody. Anybody could have your phone. You could be a
I don't.
hostage.
You
I
could be a
don't know
bot.
that.
It's a whole bot.
Right?
Dead.
Account
That's
hacked.
hilarious.
Matter of fact, one of my friends just went through that. Her Instagram got hacked. Instagram
Oh
got hacked. They took over her
no.
page, and then they were messaging me like they was her. And I asked them about something, and they're like, "Huh?" And I said, "Oh yeah." So I text her, like, and I text her right, and like, cause I had to go dig up her number, so I text her, and she's like, "No, that's not me. I lost access to my account a while ago." And I was like, "Oh my god," because I'm like, the first thing that threw me off that what red flagged me was like she was talking about Bitcoin and stuff. I said, "This girl do not do Bitcoin. You don't know nothing about no damn Bitcoin. You barely like using social media anyway. What you doing on
Wow.
Bitcoin?
Mm-mm.
Talking about send
That was
money
a
to
dead
your
giveaway.
wallet."
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You gotta be careful. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Where the heck is
Oh man, I don't know, man.
we might just have to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, let me resume what I was talking about. Okay, so the line experiment with Dr. Ash, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 people, 4 actors, 1 test subject, right? The
Yes.
test is this. I wish I could insert this into a chat, but the test is this. Basically, they show a picture of a line,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then they show A, B, and C. So there's 3 other lines, and you have to match up whichever is an A, B, or C that is the same size of that original line. Okay, that's the line
Mm-hmm.
test. So basically, the 4 other actors are told to give the wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
At first, they're giving the right answer, and the test subject is like, okay, yeah, it is A. But then eventually, the other subjects, the actors, they're like, oh, it's C when it's clearly B. And
Mm-hmm.
so the person is sitting there like, they're giving their answers out loud, by the way. So they're like, oh yeah, it's C. And like they're doing it sequentially. So then they get to that person last, the test subject last. And everybody's looking at him and he's like, oh yeah, it's C when it's clearly not C at
Right.
all. So
Right.
that is the line experiment, and that experiment shows that 40% of the time, if everybody else said something, the test subject would agree with that group. So
Ooh.
fast forward like 20 years later, somebody did the same experiment. And this
Mm-hmm.
time they did it while the person was in an MRI. But it was a little bit different. Basically, the test subject is given the answers, and same amount of actors, same thing. So there's 4 other subjects that have already given their answers for whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is. And so the person looks at the test to see like what the other people already said.
Right.
So the results were exactly the same thing. But this time
Mm-hmm.
the MRI is showing where these decisions are being made in the brain. So
Mm-hmm.
long story long, basically when the person decided to go against the group, they found
Mm-hmm.
out that parts of the brain that lit up were not responsible for decision making. It was responsible for pain. So it's painful
Wow.
for people to actually go against the group. That's why people
Oh,
conform.
that's deep. That's crazy. I did not expect
I
that.
know. I didn't either. they didn't either. They were like, our hypothesis was this, but it's actually this. And so they were blown away. This was like 2007 or something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I thought that was interesting. That's why people like to go along with the group, because it's literally less painful and less stressful. So yeah. And that's what Kendrick was talking about, is just like, you know, it's painful to not go along with the group.
Yeah,
I think in one of his bars, I don't know what song it
Mhm.
was, but he said, the truth is in the fire. You know, like you have to go through the fire in order to.
That's
Yeah.
that's a fire bar. To say the
It
truth is
is,
in the fire, like
because
it literally.
it literally is painful to tell the truth. So yeah.
Damn.
I wanted Larry to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
The truth is in the man. That's like, because see that even goes to the fact that like going through something, right? Like you don't really learn anything till you actually go through it yourself.
That's true
You know what I'm
too.
saying? You never
That's
really
like another.
know. Yeah, you never really know. So like that's another thing he could be metaphoring to, like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, like you won't know what the truth is till you get there. Like a lot of people think, oh, you got it easy because of XXXXYZ or whatever, and then you find out like, oh no, I don't want to deal with this problem at all. This is terrible. But
Yeah.
that's the easy problem for that person. Meanwhile, for you, it's something terrible. And I think everybody has a different threshold
Yeah.
of what they can and
That's
can't
true.
deal with.